Good morning, everyone, and welcome to 10-Minute English. It is Saturday, June 6th, and I'm Emily, your host for today.
Hi, everyone. I'm Lisa, and honestly, this Saturday morning feels really gentle. I had my coffee on the balcony and just sat there.
That sounds lovely. Hey, Lisa, random question. Do you ever notice birds in the morning? Like, really notice them?
Oh, all the time. There is this one little gray bird that lands on my railing almost every day. I've started saving it crumbs.
I love that. The reason I ask is because one of today's stories is going to make you feel something. Birds are definitely on the menu.
Now I'm curious. Okay, what do we have?
3 really different stories. First, Anthropic, the big company behind Claude, has reportedly filed confidentially for a U.S. IPO.
An AI giant going public. That's huge.
Second, Marvell Technology jumped in pre-market after NVIDIA's Jensen Huang called it the next trillion-dollar company.
Trillion with a T. Okay, my coffee is officially awake now.
And third, the one I teased earlier, a small parrot from Indonesia, basically unseen for almost a century, was photographed again. Oh, wow! Now I really want to talk about that one. Before we dive in, if you're new here, this is your daily 10 minutes of natural, everyday English conversation. We turn real-world news into a casual cafe chat, perfect for listening and shadowing practice. No textbooks, no stress. Just 2 friends talking over coffee. Hit that subscribe button and join us every day. And today's keyword, the one that quietly connects all 3 stories, is emerge. E-M-E-R-G-E. Emerge, like when something rises into view that was hidden before. Exactly, to appear, to come out, to step into the light. We'll see it pop up in every story today. Got it, emerge. Let's see how it shows up. Let's start with our first story. Anthropic, the lab behind the Claude assistant, has reportedly filed confidential IPO paperwork with the SEC, according to Reuters.
Oh, this is interesting. So they want to go public, but they're doing it quietly first.
That is exactly right. A confidential filing is a U.S. rule that lets a company submit its IPO paperwork to the SEC without making it public yet.
Got it. I actually read about this kind of process. It gives the company time to talk to investors and adjust before the world sees the numbers.
You really did your homework. Yes, it's like a private rehearsal before the public debut.
Beautifully put. And here's the interesting part. Their own newsroom hasn't officially announced anything yet, so this is all still at the reporting stage.
So we should be careful about getting too excited. No price, no date, no valuation has been shared publicly.
Right. The headline word is just confidentially files. That's the only confirmed piece.
Okay, that makes sense. So if I'm a regular person watching this, what should I take from it?
I think the takeaway is that this industry is maturing. Companies that started as research labs are now treating themselves like big public businesses.
That's a shift. A few years ago, these were tiny teams. Now they're filing IPO paperwork with the SEC. That's wild.
It really is. And investor appetite, the demand from people who want to buy in, seems to be very strong for the industry right now.
Investor appetite. I like that phrase. It sounds like AI is the dish everyone wants on the menu. Moving on to our second story, chip designer Marvell saw shares jump sharply in pre-market after NVIDIA's Jensen Huang called the company, quote, the next trillion-dollar one. Okay, hold on. The head of one chip company calls another chip company the next trillion-dollar one, and the market just believes him that fast? Pretty much. Forbes wrote that he anointed them, which is a strong word, like crowning them.
Honestly, that bothers me a little. One sentence at a tech keynote should not move a stock that much.
I hear you, but to be fair, he's not just any executive. His view on the AI chip ecosystem is taken very seriously.
True, but still, hype is hype. I'd rather see real numbers, real contracts, real revenue.
That's a fair pushback. The company does have a story, though. They focus on AI connectivity, the networking and optics that link chips together.
Now that part I actually find genuinely cool. Everyone talks about the chips, but the cables and the switches matter just as much.
Exactly. The bottleneck for AI is starting to emerge somewhere new. It's not just compute, it's connectivity.
There's our keyword again, emerge, a new bottleneck appearing where no one was looking.
And the companies sat on stage at Computex with that exact message, AI scaling and connectivity. Their public site shows it as the heart of their keynote.
Okay, so it's not pure hot air. There's a real story underneath. I'll give his comment that much.
I think you and I just agreed in the middle, Lisa. Hype on the surface, real shift underneath.
That feels honest. I still think one quote should not move billions in market value, but I get why people are paying attention.
That's a really mature take, and it's what makes following these stories actually useful, not just exciting.
And you know what? This kind of connects back to our first story, the whole investor appetite for AI thing.
Oh, nice link. Anthropic with its quiet IPO move, the chip designer with a loud pre-market pop. Different styles, same hunger.
One whispers to the SEC, the other gets a stage moment at Computex, both still feeding the same appetite.
Beautifully put. And in both cases, a new player is trying to emerge as a real heavyweight, not just a name.
Plus, learning words like anoint and connectivity in context is just fun.
Finally, our third topic today, a small Indonesian parrot called the blue-fronted lorikeet has been seen and photographed again in a mountain forest on Buru Island.
Oh my gosh, this is the bird story you teased. Tell me everything.
So this little parrot is native to Buru Island in Indonesia. It had basically not been recorded for almost a century.
A century? So we are talking about a bird that nobody had a good record of since our great-grandparents' generation?
Pretty much. It was considered a, quote, lost species. Then in April of this year, an expedition went looking for it.
And they found it. Please tell me they found it.
They did. At least 9 birds. They got the first photographs in 12 years and the first ever audio recording of its call.
The first ever call recording. That gave me actual chills. A voice no one had heard properly until now.
That detail is what really gets me too. Photos are one thing, but hearing a species for the first time feels like a different kind of discovery.
This reminds me of when I went on a little birding trip as a kid. We waited 3 hours for one tiny brown bird, and I cried when it finally showed up.
That is the sweetest thing. So you understand why this matters to the researchers.
Completely. One of them, John Mittermeier, said going in, quote, "It feels like a long shot." And it worked.
A long shot. Such a great English phrase. It means almost no chance, but worth trying anyway.
And here's the callback I want to make. Earlier, we talked about Anthropic emerging into the public market with huge investor appetite.
Oh, I see where you're going.
This bird emerged in the opposite way. No press release, no IPO, no hype. Just 9 little parrots quietly showing up in a forest.
Beautifully said. Both stories are about something emerging from hiding, just on completely different scales.
And honestly, the bird one made me happier. There's something hopeful about a species we thought was almost gone showing up again.
It's a reminder that not extinct is not the same as not seen. Sometimes things are just waiting in the quiet.
That line is going to stay with me all day. Waiting in the quiet.
So that brings us to the end of today. 3 really different stories with one shared word.
Looking back, I genuinely cannot pick a favorite yet. They all sat with me in different ways.
Today's keyword was emerge. Anthropic emerging into the public market, a new bottleneck emerging in the AI chip world, and a tiny parrot emerging from a forest after 100 years.
I love how one word can hold something huge and corporate and something tiny and feathered at the same time.
That is the magic of a good keyword. You can use it tomorrow in your own life.
Like a new idea emerging in a meeting?
Exactly. Or a memory emerging from your childhood. Same word, endless uses.
Okay, I will be using emerge all weekend now.
We want to keep bringing you stories you actually care about, so we have a small ask. Which story from today stuck with you the most? It's the multiple choice moment. Let's hear them. Option A is the Anthropic IPO story, the quiet filing. A solid one. Option B is the Marvell $1 trillion moment, the loud pre-market pop.
Big and shiny.
Option C is the Indonesian parrot rediscovery, 9 little birds in a forest.
For me, this is the easiest call I've made all week. Definitely C, the bird story. My heart is still warm from it.
I'll go with A, actually. I find the idea of an AI lab becoming a public company genuinely historic.
Of course you would pick the most serious one, Emily.
Hey, somebody has to. Tell us your pick in the comments. A, B, or C. Any language is totally fine, and even just an emoji works.
If you enjoyed today's chat, please hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss tomorrow.
Whatever emerges in your day today, may it be a good thing.
And keep an eye out for the small birds on your balcony. You never know who has been waiting to be seen.
See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.